If you're looking for an awesome product at a great price, be sure to check out the link in the description. Global plastic pollution, a critical juncture. The urgent need to address the pervasive problem of plastic waste takes center stage as 179 countries convene in Geneva for 10 days of crucial negotiations, aiming to forge a global treaty akin to the Paris Agreement on climate change. This follows 5 previous rounds of talks, each hampered by significant disagreements. The stakes are high, with more than 100 nations advocating for legally binding caps on plastic production, countered by petrostates favoring less stringent measures, primarily focusing on improved waste management and recycling. The potential for these talks to collapse without any commitment to production cuts remains a very real possibility. This looming failure would be a setback for human health, given that microplastics, invisible yet pervasive, are impacting our lungs, blood, and livers. A recent Lancet report highlights the substantial and growing health risks associated with plastic pollution. Meanwhile, across the globe, other major headlines demand attention. Storm Florence ravages the UK, unleashing 100 mph gusts, causing widespread travel disruption, power outages, and event cancellations. Rail services in Scotland face significant delays. In UK news, a House of Lords member, also a US defense company advisor, urges stricter action against Palestine Action, prompting police to prepare for arrests of protesters this weekend. Political tensions rise as former Prime Minister Liz Truss accuses current Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch of dishonesty regarding the government's record. In other news, far-right activist Tommy Robinson faces arrest on suspicion of grievous bodily harm following an alleged assault at a London railway station. A glimmer of hope emerges from a government initiative offering NHS care to over 100 critically ill and injured children from Gaza. The Plastic Treaty Negotiations, a closer look. The United Nations 2022 initiative to create a global plastic treaty has faced repeated setbacks, with previous rounds of talks failing to secure a comprehensive agreement. While the initial goal encompassed the entire plastic life cycle, the scope has narrowed. The high cost of attending these negotiations disproportionately favors wealthy industrial interests, allowing a large number of lobbyists to influence the talks, significantly outnumbering independent scientists and representatives from smaller nations. The environmental impact of plastic production is staggering. This industry's greenhouse gas emissions rival those of Russia, the world's 4th largest polluter, and plastic production has skyrocketed over the past 7 decades, with less than 10% recycled and over 40% ending up in landfills. This situation poses an undeniable threat to human health, impacting individuals from infancy to old age. The Lancet report meticulously details the severe health consequences of plastic pollution. The chemicals used in plastic production cause numerous health problems, including increased risks of miscarriage, stillbirth, birth defects, impaired lung growth, childhood cancer, and fertility issues. The most vulnerable populations bear the brunt of these risks. The ongoing battle in Geneva pits over 100 nations advocating for legally binding reductions in plastic production against countries with significant fossil fuel industries. The latter group pushes for improved waste management and recycling, effectively deflecting the focus from production cuts. The intransigence of these fossil fuel interests has deepened the divisions, exemplified by countries like Egypt and Malaysia, including plastic industry representatives in their delegations. The potential outcomes of these critical negotiations range from a meaningful treaty to further protracted talks, or even a less formal coalition of the willing approach outside the UN framework. Environmental organizations like Greenpeace are calling for a substantial 75% reduction in plastic production by 2040. A successful agreement would be a landmark achievement, mirroring the Paris Agreement on climate change, providing a crucial framework even if full implementation remains challenging. However, the current climate of negotiations inspires little optimism, reflecting a concerning lack of global consensus on addressing this critical issue. The United States, initially wavering, now aligns with major fossil fuel producers, supporting less ambitious targets. Similarly, China and Iran advocate for less stringent measures, labeling more ambitious goals as unrealistic. This underscores the deep-seated political and economic interests at play, hindering progress toward a comprehensive solution. Even basic scientific facts regarding the health impacts of plastics are being challenged, highlighting a concerning trend of politicized science. Despite the pessimistic outlook, a weaker agreement could still signify the continued relevance of international environmental diplomacy. Though the lack of global unity is palpable, some hope remains that even a less ambitious treaty offers a foundation for future progress. News from other sectors includes a compelling analysis of Kemi Badenoch's relationship with her Nigerian heritage. Reports emerge of increasingly large and bold rats in cash-strapped communities, struggling to manage pest control. A review highlights the negative impact of certain TV characters on their shows. And finally, positive developments include a compensation scheme for victims of a car finance scandal, and a recipe for a quick and easy dinner. In sports, Everton's pursuit of new players, Lewis Hamilton's uncertain F1 future, and a multi-billion-pound compensation claim against FIFA all feature prominently. Newspapers focus on police warnings regarding mass arrests at Palestine action protests, Nigel Farage's rhetoric, migrant detention policies, disputes between the Prime Minister and police, school funding issues, and Tesla's significant stock award to Elon Musk. A poignant feature article